So looked the truck over, actually got a socket on the crank, and it's not budging. So I'm thinking somebody else knew this. That's why the spark plugs were out. But um, I've soaked the cylinders, I soaked the carburetor, filled it full of stuff. I think most of it just leaked out of the bottom overnight, but figured some of it would go down, go behind the valves, and go in the cylinders with the valves open, intake valves open. But tried it again today. It's just as locked as ever. Show you what I'm doing. I've seen it on something else, and I don't think it worked there either, but doesn't hurt to try. Put a little tension on it. I'll show you. A little tension on the crank bolt with this setup. I can't remember who did it. It was somebody I watched on YouTube, but not hurting the trim, I don't think. It's not that tight. I mean, it's tight. It's bending the ratchet. I don't think it was bent before. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's tweaking it. So it's holding tension on it. So if it does decide to start letting loose little by little, it'll do that. Probably all it's gonna end up doing is tightening that crank bolt super tight. But, you can't really tell, but there's a bend in it. Anyways, it's got a little bit of tension on it. We'll give that a shot. I don't remember how much I showed before, but this is rusted up. The carburetor looks terrible. It was full. It's still, see how much is in there? So it was all the way full up to the choke horn. So it's either going down, leaking out of the carburetor onto the intake manifold, which I think I see some, or it's going down in the engine slowly, but it's crunchy. I took the air filter out, it was rusty, and it's still really rusty and chunky. I haven't got after it with a wet dry vac yet. It needs it in here and in the interior. Supposedly all the drums are locked, and I believe the guy. That's something I'm gonna have to work on. Let's see, still needs a wet dry vac, or just a broom and a dustpan would work. But got most of the majority of the big stuff out of here, and some of it in the garage, so I can pick through anything that might be worth something. But I don't know. Need keys for sure. I didn't get any. It's not the end of the world. This is pretty easy to take off, and they're really easy to get. I actually got to find out, being Ford, I've got to find out which ones it is, because halfway through the year they changed them from a bullet connector to a spade connector. And honestly, I'm hoping it's the later version, because the spade connectors work better. Feels like a spade connector back there. You got to go by VIN number amount, or VIN number, after like 53,000 units or something like that. But this is a that looks, maybe it wasn't a smoker. Man, it looks pretty clean. I don't think that's original. Pretty cool looking one. I bought a old toolbox at a garage sale, and it's got a cool one in it too. I believe it lights up in the end. It's kind of got a clear thing, a little window right here, and I think whenever this glows orange, this, you can see it through here, so you know whenever it's hot. I thought that was pretty nifty. I think they're cool whenever I find them. I'd had to test it out. That's my theory, is that's because it's clear, you can't see it on film very good, but I think it looks down into here, or a part of this, you know, and you can tell. I think about putting it in here. I don't smoke, but since I don't have the original one anyways, this seat looked good. Stuck my elbow on it yesterday when I was cleaning, and it cracked, so it's pretty dry rotted. I don't hold out too much hope for it. There's a throttle lock, rigged for sure. I tried pulling it, don't really work, but I really don't care. Might leave it on just for looks, but I don't need it to work. I think it's CB, quick disconnect with a lock, so you know why you steal it if you don't take it out, but I don't know. Could have been there's some stuff down there, but they look like RCA cables. Yeah, that's probably CB stuff. Lots of rat's nest wiring. That's always good. But miles is 32,309. So, you know, anybody's guess on what it is. You know, I don't think 32,000 just by the looks of everything else, but the pedals, usually they're wore to a nib. So like I said, unless they're really hard plastic or something.